evening, everyone. Welcome to Contest of Speed here at Silverstone. Long time didn't hear you, huh? Surprise. It's me, Kaganis. We are going to start EU3 race. Let's quickly check the driver standings. So Racer is leading the pack with quite a big amount of the gap on Almanac, really close behind. Almanac is Dan Robo on P3, Nisula and Caxel is P4 and P5. Goran, Stelzio, Nico, Griffin, and Milos, that's our top 10. Robstar, Tyclair, Andre, Wisey Boy, Mons, Yitmex, Isaac, Lankywan, Not Ras, and Limits, that's our bottom 10. Checking the constructor standings, AlphaTauri is leading, being followed by Ferrari, then Alfa Romeo on P3, Mercedes on P4, McLaren P5, Haas P6, Aston Martin P7, Red Bull on P8, P9 is Alpine, and Williams is closing the pack. Tonight, alongside with me is Matthew.
Hello, good evening. We are reunited once again for like the first time.
Yeah, it's been quite a lot of time. So let's speak about the Silverstone. Obviously, plenty times the track was changed, and I have to say I really like current layout.
Yeah, this layout, we've had it for a while now. I believe 2012 was when it got changed. Don't hold me to that. I'm just going to research that actually, just so I know I got that right. But yeah, it's had multiple different layouts. I can definitely tell you that the old layout was running until 2008. So, yeah, 2011. The current variation that we raced on, that has been around since 2011. And the other variation was, well, before that, to be honest. Held an F1 race since 1948, which is very, very
Yeah,
long time.
it was. I do believe it was from very beginning of Formula One history. Meanwhile, Nisila is starting first quali lap of the evening. So let's see what that Aston Martin driver will be able to do. He's still holding within the track limits, so that's good for him. Now jumping onto the, I do believe it's still GT3 series start finish line.
Yep.
And old turn one, obviously most recently remembered from unfamous accident between Lewis and Max. That was pretty horrible. And going out through the straight, am I correct? With DRS wide open. My memory is not as bad as it was. And he is losing the traction on rears. This lap won't be impressive. Probably Nisola will head on directly to the pit lane. Yes, he is. He was just too impatient with a throttle.
I'll sort the title out. It seems to be a problem. It's not your fault.
I mean EU4.
Yeah, for some reason it goes with the last stream's title, even if you do it properly.
Meanwhile, Nico setting a benchmark for tonight's evening with 25.8 Celsius on currently on P2 with 26.3 and limits 26.759. As Tycler is heading to the line, but he is running 28.6, not impressive time for Williams driver. Next one to cross the line is Robstar, who invalidating lap on last two turns. Unfortunate. What happened, Matty?
Don't worry, I'm just too busy dropping you virtually. Literally, because
Okay.
you're on my phone. I've just decided to
Mons
drop you like a couple of feet.
setting P5 times. Sid, meanwhile, 26052, setting himself on P2 for this moment. I do believe we might expect really soon Racer, aka Lewis, aka Racer, to cross the line. And surprisingly, Racer is setting P3 time, 3 times, over 3 times slower than Nico in that Red Bull.
I'm hoping all the settings have sorted themselves out, but I guarantee you have a feeling that the EA settings have probably changed something. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a safety car or not. Hey, don't shout at me.
5 setting time for P8. No one is shouting for you. I see that you managed to change the title correctly.
Yeah, got that bit right. I'm now banking on Cody's to not change the save settings and change everything off, but I have a feeling it impossibly would have done it, and I didn't check before we started, but I don't think I should have to if the game worked properly. But hey, who knows? 19 drivers waiting for D Summers, and that should be about it. We've got a couple other people in. Sid is in again. Yeah, he seems to just race all the time.
Goran is next one to cross the line and set a time. He is struggling with battery, so I expecting him was on second to run. It's 26.5. Behind Max on P6, not Ras on P7. He was the one. Now we are waiting for Haas of Andre, who will be next one to cross the line. Obviously, I'm cheering up Andre a lot because he's my countrymate.
Showing your allegiance, that's fine.
Andre is crossing the line, 27.2. Not impressive time for Haas driver. Nisula is the next one to cross the line. But he is way far back. He's heading to the Maggots and Beckett's really famous section of turns. Anyway,
I'm trying to look.
How are you?
I was trying to look. I'm very good. Sorry, I was trying to look to see what the poll time was yesterday, but something's gone wrong with the Twitch channel.
Well,
isn't ideal because it's now saying that the broadcast of this stream before I changed the channel was the EU4 channel stream, which is not very helpful. So I can't give you. The guys did in EU4 did get into the 125s yesterday, so.
Nisula 125.97, setting himself on P2. So we can expect low 25s, I assume, or maybe high 24s.
I reckon we're going to be in the low 25s. I reckon around about 25, 3 or 4, I think, possibly. There has been some guys really quick. EU3 tend to not qualify as quickly as EU4, but they seem to be more consistent in terms of the race pace compared to EU4. So it's an interesting dynamic. But yeah, I reckon around a 25-4 possibly at a push. But do expect a few more guys to get close to the 25s.
We'll see. Are you right? Really, really shortly. We're driving through my second section with Buckley.
Probably going out for his usual evaluation of the track. Oh yeah, this looks all good, and then well, see if he's going to qualify or not. But you never know.
Yeah, I
Seems to
mean
be a
he's
Robbo thing to do.
he's finishing his lap and still not using battery, so we can't expect fireworks. Yeah, and he's losing 2.2 seconds to Andre, who was the slowest car on the track so far. Lanky One is pretty far. How about Robster? Robster is pretty far as well. Uh, I do see Aston Martin. Aston Martin of Mals. He's just started a lap. Almanac is on the out lap. He's finishing it actually. Steltion,
I
no,
need
it
to.
was Yitmex to start the lap. So Robster will be next one to set a time. Maybe he won't invalidate this time.
I'm gonna see which person I'm gonna pick to do an onboard lap at some point. Who's it gonna be? Who should we have? What's the Ferrari doing? Lanky's finishing a lap, so it might have to be somebody else later on. I'll find
So
somebody.
let's maybe do Stelcio because he is or Nico.
On his outline. Perfect. No, we'll go with Stelcio. Go with the McLaren man, currently sitting in P6, a 126.3. We're about to enter Vale and Club to start our lap round the Silverstone circuit. Up the Hamilton Straight, going into Abbey, where we saw a nasty crash for Guanyu Zhou not so long ago, through Farm and then Village, which is turn 3, the loop of turn 4 before we have our first DRS straight through 8 Tree. DRS will open up as we go down the Wellington Straight. Up to 8th gear, going to 100 and nearly 200 miles an hour before breaking down into Brooklands. And then trying to get the line and the car turning as the wheels start to complain through Luffield and Woodcote, where the old start-finish straight used to be. Now Klops, this will probably be a slight lift as we scrub a little bit of speed through that corner. And then Maggots and Beckett's throwing the car this way and that, probably shifting down eventually there. Runs it a little bit wide across Chapel. DRS open again as we go down the Hanger Straight towards Stowe, over 205 miles an hour, flicking the car in, down to 7th, running a little bit wide, so a bit of understeer there. Oh, he's coming! No! He's coming.
He screwed up that so beauty commentary on onboard. Stelcio, we not appreciating things like that.
That car looked like it was just suffering a little bit from understeer there. He's making way through the corners.
Yeah, man, it's this track gets plenty of interesting things in this game, especially. If you are a bit too impatient with your throttle on the exit of turn 4, you are losing the car. The same thing in turn, it's I do believe 6. Then in Magasbeck at Chapel, you need to be really careful. And then at the end of the Hunger Straight, we've seen that one of the drivers made a mistake there already. Was a bit too harsh with throttle and lost the car completely. So we might expect some probably even unforced incidents because of that during the race. Tell me, Mati, because I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't here for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
How the driving standards looks like right now? Does something
Uh,
changed,
yeah,
or
yeah, 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 yeah.
not necessarily?
We've we've seen the very best. We've also seen the very worst, and it's not just EU3 or EU4. I don't want to dig him out, but Hako made an absolute blunder last week for EU1 or 2, whatever it was. It was not good. Um, uh, Look, they're fighting. They're fighting hard. I think the stewards have been lenient at times to try and let the guys race, but possibly it's had a bit of a detrimental effect on the actual racing standards, encouraging people to race. It's not their fault, but we want to see exciting racing. But I think sometimes the line does get crossed a little bit.
Okay, and
I'll
one more question to you, because I noticed that Griffin is staying out in the pit lane. Does he serving some
Yes,
kind
he
of
has a
qualifying?
qualifying ban. Yes, he has.
Yeah, that explains a lot. Meanwhile, while were speaking, Nisula set a new fastest time, improved the previous one by 16 milliseconds. So that's really close between that Aston Martin and Red Bull drivers. Now, are you happy to make one more onboard lap? Because
Yes.
I do believe Racer will be starting his lap really soon because he is now on the Hunger Straight.
He is on the home straight. Yeah, EU4 champ into EU3 and taking it to like a duck to water. It's hey, we know the ability that this man
Yeah.
has.
Meanwhile, while we're waiting for Andre Racer, for Racer, Andre unfortunately invalidating his time at the end of the lap. And now we can watch Lewis, not Russell's retiring from session, so he is happy with his lap.
Yeah, we will try again. Right down the helmet straight. Here we go into Abbey, and then Farm trying to keep the car flat out as possible. We've got a bit of an Aston Martin in the way at the moment. Hopefully that will move in a second as we go through the village and then the loop. We may be able to get a tow actually here as the DRS is about to open now. I think that's an interesting way of doing it, to say the very least. Down the Wellington straight into Brooklands to try and see if we can touch the apex there as we run the car out. Hugs the inside of this corner. There'll be a variety of different lines you'll see through Luffield, I reckon, this evening. Woodcote is pretty much flat out. We're coming up to Cops Corner now. There's probably going to be a slight lift, a little bit there, down to 180. Pick that speed back up as we head towards Maggots, and then Beckett's thickened the car in. Important not to run too wide to affect the exit speed as we head down towards the Hangar Straight. And then we'll probably make a shift or two down into Stowe. That's a lot better through there. Try not to take too much curb on the outside. Now into Vale and Club, where we saw through goes Hamilton. Round the last corner, and it is a 25.8. It's the third person into the 25.8.
Yeah, Triple Eight, and I have to say that the Racer lap was quite a bit ballsy because I noticed that he didn't even lift it off through caps.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to see who's taking.
Lanky One. Lanky One with lap invalidated, so he won't be counted. Pipertech close behind Ferrari driver in that black and white hat. Limits is leaving the session, probably connection issues. Now, Pipertech is setting time 26.585. That's giving him P12 so far. Caxel setting himself for P5. Who's the next one? It's Robstar, I do believe. Robstar setting time for P12. Behind him is Goran, who's setting 8th time. Nico setting new fastest lap, 25.4. So you were right, Matty. Sergio will be the next one. Sergio 25.9. That's P5. P5 for McLaren driver. How about Heatmax, who usually got a really superb one lap pace, and then he was struggling in the race. And Heatmax is setting himself on P2 behind Nisula. So huge jump by for McLaren driver. He before he set that time he was somewhere around P12 or P13, and here we are. Nico, Yitmex, Nisula, then Almanac, Racer, Stelzio, Sid, Caxel, Notras, and Goran. That's our top 10. Continuing, Mons, Tycler, Lanky One, Robstar, Pipetech, Limits, Andre, Danrobo, and Griffin without a lap time because of serving penalty ban. I have to say, pretty close. Top 12 split it by less than a second. Nico, with his time, outpaced a lot of people, but I seen there a couple of milliseconds between three or four drivers. So we might see quite intense race somewhere in higher parts of the grid because it was somewhere between P5 and P8. There was 400. So, Madi, what is your predictions for this race?
We got 19 runners. I reckon we'll finish with 14. We'll have 2 safety cars if the safety cars things are on and working. Who knows? And we will probably have Nasula, Lewis, and I don't know who will be my third person on the podium.
Okay, so I will be giving predictions completely blind because since I decided to leave my seat, I wasn't watching EU3 races, but I will continue for a moment because we are about to start limits without drive-through penalty, ghosting car, and someone is going
Oh!
really wide. Who was that? Was it Robstar? It was
Oh,
Nisula and
Nasula!
Sid.
Oh, Sid again!
Nisula and
Sid had
Sid.
two. Sid had 2 accidents yesterday on 2 race starts in EU4 at turn 1.
I mean, I
Just
think
does.
I wasn't sure was it Mercedes or Aston Martin who drive just straight on turn one
Uh,
instead of
I'm
turn.
not too sure. But Sid found himself in a spot above her once again. We are very split on the tyre front. Leading 3 are on the hard tyres, then 4th down to 8th. We've got the mediums, tyres on the softs. Not Rass is on the mediums, Rob's on the hards. Griffin and Lanky and Pipetech on the mediums. Limits, Sid, Dan and Nasula on the hard tyre. And Andre is on the soft tyre.
And
So we have
and
2 soft runners.
I have to say that Andre might be really dangerous for guys in front of him on that softs because I seen a couple of his races in other places on soft tires, and he was, for example, at Albert Park, he decided to run 17 laps from start on soft compound, and he was able to match the pace of faster hard runners.
So it's going to be a bit of a, don't want to say, but a slight inconvenience to some guys. We've got Rob and Ty. Rob's had a flying start on those hard tyres. He has moved up quite a few positions. In fact, he's moved up 5, which is the most on the grid so far, other than Twitch Caxel, who's up into 3rd place as well. So some big movers.
Sorry, but Griffin gained
Griffin is on 8. See, I've just saw that 8 places for Griffin. So interesting. Monsters picked up a penalty.
Rob is fighting with his teammate for P10. It
Well,
might
Ty
cost
should.
them a lot, and
Oh!
Griffin overtaking Robstar. I said that won't work good for them fighting between teammates, and Robstar is losing spot because of that unnecessary fight instead of cooperative. Meanwhile, I'm a bit surprised because Nico Ifmax and Caxel are running from Racer and Stelzio. Racer is actually losing the place for the McLaren driver, and Almanac is really close to them and looking for opportunity to make a move.
He's looking for an opportunity to make a move. Uh, Twitch Caxel set the fastest lap of the race on those medium tyres, pulled a gap to Stelcho. Lewis at the moment dropping, but he is on the hard tyre, so that is kind of expected. He would have hoped to stayed with Yeet Mix and Nico for a little bit longer. We have a DRS train uh,
From
all the way down.
P3 to P17,
Yeah,
16.
P4 all the way down to 89, probably Nasuda in a second, 19. So it's all very tight. Monster looks like he's in a fight with Goran.
And Caxel and Itmax are swapping positions. Itmax is still in front of that Alpha Tauri. They are losing a bit of gap to leading Nico. Now through Maggots and Beckett's section. It's quite difficult to drive close behind someone. Caxel is running wider to avoid the dirty air. Now the air is wide open. Is he close enough to make a move? No, because Itmax is using DRS as well. Meanwhile, behind them, Lewis is overtaking Stelzio for P4. Almanac was looking for the gap to make a move as well, but he was a bit too far. Racer is over 2 seconds behind, leading 3 already. Dan Robo, meanwhile, overtaking Pipetek for P14.
Yeah, Pipe Tech just lost out there to Rob. Oh, and he touched limits on the way through. We could be going 3 wide into turn 3 in a couple of corners time. Yeah, Pipe Tech kind of lost 2 positions there because he lost out to Rob, and he left, which then left him in the clutches of Dan, who's managed to overtake him. Yeah, but here we go. Train is forming up once again.
Yeah, but look, 1 lap ago you said that Rob had flying start on that hard compound, and from that moment he dropped down from P9 to P14.
Ty, sorry, Griffin and not
Robo.
Ras. Pipetek's going to try and hold it round.
Robo was trying, Pipetek was trying to overtake Alfa Romeo driver, but Dan defended that position really well, but they were going side by side by quite a bit time. And now Dan Robo might be out of DRS on Robstar, so this will be a huge chance for Pipetek to make a move clean this time.
Yeah, Caxel got past Yeet Mix for P2, so made that look pretty easy. Not Ras and Lanky swapping positions. Lanky up into P11, and Dan managed to hold that place off to Pipe Tech for P14 and put himself back in to the train. So we have a train, Luke, from all the way down from P4 to to the back of the grid.
Yeah. And look about the gap of Nico over Caxel, who's on P2 right now. They are out of DRS, so they have to cooperate each other to catch up, or if they keep fighting Caxel and Heatmax, they might create a chance for Racer and Stelzio to join this party for battle for P2. Mons and Goran really close to each other. Mons was trying to, watching after those as Mons was trying to make something happen before the caps, but he just stepped back. And Racer now, Itmax lost quite a lot of time to Caxel, and Racer is really close behind him right now.
yeah, he's made a big mistake. Having said that, Caxel's also lost a bit of time to Nico up front. It'll be interesting to see when Ty comes in. I think he's in a bit of trouble because he has got the lowest amount of ERS in the entire field. Not by much, but it's enough compared to those around him. And well, Griffin can see that because we're possibly going to look for a move down the inside into turn 2. Kind of half goes for it. Puts him out of position, but he's not quite close enough. So I feel this could be where we see a train split in a lap or so time when soft tyres start possibly falling away a little bit, but at the moment still okay. Everybody in a DRS train.
And Andre is losing a position. Actually, Nisula is out of Nisula and Sid are out of DRS, so DRS train is missing 3 wagons right now. Andre dropped from P17 to P19, so it looks like soft compound for him at this track doesn't work at all. Meanwhile, Litmex closed up to Caxel again, so we have DRS train from P2 all the way down to P15 because Limits is dropping. Griffin is overtaking Ty for P9.
Round the outside. That was a great move. Oh, we had a raid. Thanks to RSF1 Racing for the raid. Thank you very much. Yeah, we saw Griffin there go round the outside tyres. So that was a fantastic move from Griffin. Yeah, probably shows that he's got a bit more
Almanac
time.
Is really close behind Stelzio, and Stelzio is close to drop out from that DRS train.
Interestingly, Luke, Yemex has got himself back inside that DRS by quite a bit, so he gained a second back.
Yeah, I mean, I do expect that he just burned a lot of battery, and Almanac is making a move on Stelzio. And they are still, no, they are not side by side. It was a clean move by Alpha Tauri driver, and he is gaining position on that McLaren.
JD on School Devil Move, thank you for the follow. Who just joined it? Oh, thanks. Good to have you. Over 25 of you in the stream at the moment watching EU3. So far, it's not seen a lot, but it's been all very, very close. We've had a DRS train constantly involving 14 or 15 cars.
Yeah, and Ismax is overtaking Caxel right now, and Ismax is going back for that P2. He was on the race start.
Rob dropping back, so has he overheated those hards already? I'd be surprised if he has. Dan's up to P13 with that move.
Limits is heading to the pit lane. That's a surprise because that's early. That's really early for
that would suggest
Alpine
to me
driver, especially that he was using hard compound.
So that would suggest to me he's got some stuff like that. No, that he's not. He's coming for a set of mediums. That is interesting if it's not front wing damage.
Yeah, it's really surprising because he was on hards and Tychler is still holding up on his soft compound, so maybe a bad setup for Alpine driver, and he is just struggling with too big tire wear.
I tell you what's it's interesting. Nasu and Sid have not been able to close in on the guys in front of them after their lap 1 instant. They are slowly, but because everybody else has got DRS, they're just still pulling that gap down them. And you'll see it probably as we go down the hangar straight, how much of effect the DRS is having to the cars ahead of them instead of those guys. So the gap, Nasu got it down to 2.6. It's already going up, and that is going up very quickly.
And Andre became a second victim of track limits.
So he's lost about 4.5 tenths down that straight because he's not got DRS.
Yeah, he was gaining on Magus and Beckett, but with DRS advantage of his opponents, he started to dropping. But they are like 2 3 laps ago, they were about Nisula was about 2 seconds behind Pipetek. Now it's nearly 3. So Nisula have some serious troubles right now, and it looks
They're
like
on the.
Robstar dropped from the DRS train. So now we have DRS train from P2 to P13.
Yeah, he got it that time. I don't think he'll get it next time. He got it down the Wellington straight, but I don't think he'll get it down the Hanger straight, as he's already 1.1 behind Dan. He'll try his best to keep inside at DRS. So yeah, we're starting to see possibly some guys hanging on here to the train, as the gap to the lead is about 2 seconds, and then we've got a train all the way down to P13 at the moment.
And Robstar is dropping a lot of the gap right now. Uh, After the caps, he lost about 4
Ty
tenths.
and Lanky. Lanky's going to have to be a bit more defiant with that move, and he has. Otherwise, they're going to risk it dropping out if they both go a bit tentative into that corner. So Lanky past Ty. Ty is hanging on in there. I suppose the deeper he can take those softs, the better possibly it's going to be for him in the second stint of this race. And there it is. So we officially have a gap now. Or have we? Yeah, we have. So Lanky didn't get DRS that time.
And Caxel is regaining P2 from Itmax again. They are still dropping over 2 seconds to leading Nico, but Itmax is... Oh, and contact!
Oh, there it is.
Itmax
Contact between the two. I was just about
trying to go to the inside and
yeah, and Lewis is through. Lewis is up into second. I was just about to say these guys need to really be careful not to trip over each other, because otherwise you're just going to give Nico a free win. We saw it last week with Nasula, how he was able to just venture off by himself because everybody else was fighting and not thinking about the long game. And we've had an early example of that. Lewis trying to burn.
And Almanac is really pushing hard. Stelzio. They were nearly side by side.
Don't go on. And Mons with the switch back possibly underneath. It's going to have to go to the outside of the corner. Oh, this is all going to get very tight.
Is tiny ahead, and it looks like he made that move down, and Itmax is starting to struggling with traction a bit, because we've seen a lot of counter steering for McLaren driver, and he was struggling with battery.
I think they all are.
I mean, it is weird because I seen his red light flashing and his steering wheel showing that he have 73% of battery, but that doesn't matter for now because he received 3-second time penalty for track limits after own mistake going too wide. Caxel now overtaking Itmax. They're still side by side, and Itmax is in front of that AlphaTauri again.
You're gonna have to be careful because they're now dicing with that window again. Still amazingly, we're still in this train from second all the way down to where Dan is in 12th. Rob is now tucked up behind Pipe Tech, and I feel Rob's tyres are now a little bit better than what they were a couple of laps ago.
Now Goran started to pushing Almanac, so he wants to be involved even more for that podium fight. He's closing, they're side by side, and Goran is ahead of that AlphaTauri. But AlphaTauri is trying to fight back. Goran got that inside line, and Almanac is stepping back, so Goran make this move down, and it's P4 for Mercedes driver, and Lanky One is heading to the pit lane.
Yeah, so Ty and Andre have gone for the mediums from the softs. Lanky's come in and is going to the hard tyres, so trying to get undercut. Well, undercut could be powerful around here, considering everybody's really close to each other. So let's see how Lanky does in the next lap or so compared to the other. So he was in front of Dan, that's our reference, by about half a second. So let's see what Lanky does in the meantime. Thank you for Sweetest Diesel and Resilience 46 for the follow. I hope you're enjoying the EU3 action. It's been very tightly contested so far. In fact,
Lanky is leaving the pit lane just behind the limits, and Tyclair
limits and
with 3 seconds
limits is
time
undercut
penalty.
him.
Yeah, limit was 4 laps before in the pit lane, and it looks like he will slow down the Lanky one, because the gap between them when Lanky left the pit lane was less than 1/10 of the second, and they were fighting really hard to turn 3, so that could slow down a bit. And
the Studers threw on Rob, and Pipe Tech's having to fight them as well. Not Rash 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure somebody else got one as well. As they all enter into the pits, there's a mixture of medium and hard runners coming in, so this is going to be interesting to see what happens.
No, I have to correct you, Matty. No one except Natras gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. Meanwhile, Nissil and Pipertech really close to each other. Pipertech behind that Aston Martin, and he is losing the gap to him.
Sorry, look at Ty. Ty's going to come out, and he's leapfrog a couple of the guys already, and he's going to be on really warm medium tyres compared to Almanac's hards. They're going to fight it all the way through.
Stelzio, meanwhile, really close to Racer. That's battle for P2. They're pretty safe from attacks by Mons and Griffin, because they are 2 seconds behind them, but
close on the exit.
Ty's
going to try and use the grip.
Almanac and Ty side by side. Stelzio is overtaking Racer for P2. Tycler and Almanac still really close to each other. Almanac will try Pipertech. Is overtaking Nisila for P8. Irmex is overtaking Limits for P15. Stelzio with 5 seconds penalty for speeding in pit lane. Mons, Griffin, Caxel and Stelzio in the pit lane. Dan Robo will be promoted for P3 right now. The gap is pretty huge. It's 5 seconds to Racer, but it looks like he's going really good. Tycler is still in front of Almanac, back to where they will be when
I think
cars in front of them start leaving the pit lane. Go around Tycler and Almanac.
It's going to be so tight.
Okay, Stelzio will be in front of them.
Stelzio will be.
Lanky one, another victim of track limits. And so makes grip. Lanky one just behind Mons.
Come out. Lanky's going to send it down the inside. Mons is going to have no grip so far because they need heating up.
Yeah, and
Griffin's come out and lost the
place for himself to go to the inside of Mons over there as well, but he had to step back.
So hopefully the guys up front, what they're probably looking for is this. These guys all tripping up each other, trying to warm those tyres up, fighting over positions.
Yeah, and Irmex is making a move on Mons, so Irmex is getting a position. Natras is overtaking Limits for P14. Griffin is really close to Mons. Nico is in, Lewis is in, so where they will be, Dan
stays out. So this confirms to me he may go to the soft. Has he got enough grip? Whoa, so he's just
Pipertech. Dan
picked up a 3 seconds for basically cutting the last corner.
And
that was a horrendous line.
And Pipertech is now on P2. Axel is overtaking Limits.
That was a really if I'm going to say it how it is, and he'll probably hear me at some point. That was a really stupid penalty that Dan's just picked up. That's a horrendous line that he's just taken through that last corner.
Almanac setting a fastest lap, but not for long. Hitmax is improving that lap. Stelzio is behind Nico.
Lewis is just out in front of Almanac. No, he's not. This is for the championship lead.
And Almanac is in front of Ferrari driver. Ferrari with colder tires, but he shouldn't have any problems with heating up them because of softer compound comparing to that AlphaTauri, both with DRS, but no room for Racer to make a move. Over there, Caxel is overtaking Griffin for P13. Notras is struggling to keep up with that pack. He's already nearly 1.5 seconds behind them. Nico is closing the gap to Pipertech really, really fast. Sergio as well. But I have to say, something is not wrong for me because Racer was he lost. Okay, Racer was in front of Sergio. Sergio went to the pit lane a bit before, so he was just undercutted. Sergio fighting with Goran. Goran is taking that P4 from McLaren driver, and now he will be trying to close that gap to Nico, who is still on provisional lead because Dan and Pipertech still have to go to the pit lane with his mechanics. Tyclair with quite a bit promotion after going to the pit lane is now virtual fourth position. Almanac is really close to him and he will be pushing, and Racer behind him as well. Now Almanac is trying to close the gap. We see Tyclair is without a battery, and Goran, apologies, Almanac is overtaking Tyclair for P6. Goran is losing position to Stelcio, but they are still fighting, and it looks like Mercedes driver is in front of that McLaren. Oh, from this camera angle, I thought for a moment that they were side by side just before the cops. Natras is overtaking Griffin for P14, and Stelcio is still really, really close. Oh, a minor contact between McLaren and Mercedes. Almanac is waiting for a chance. Racer is overtaking Tyclair for P7, and Stelcio is re-overtaking Goran. Almanac is trying from the outside, but he was just too far, and Lewis is close behind Almanac for another time. Pipertech is heading to the pit lane. He will drop plenty of positions. Surprisingly, Dan is still on the track. Gap over Nico is 14.2 at start of lap 17. We'll see what it will be a bit later. And someone made a mistake. I do believe it's Mons. Oh, apologies, wrong button. By mistake, I pressed the Windows button instead of shifted. Yes, Mons lost a lot of positions. Heatmax and limits close to each other. No, that's just a time table bug for me. Oh, I hate when this happens. Goran, Almanac and Racer still really close to each other. That's battle for P4 currently.
Let me try that again. Nasu closing in, set the what was the fastest lap, and Nico took it back off him. Not Ras with another penalty. So a few guys on 3 seconds, and near the front, Nico picked up one as well. So the top three on 3 seconds. Dan has come in eventually. Sid's picked up 3 seconds. So is Limits. Lewis down the inside of Almanac. Championship contenders fighting once again. This is what we wanted to see. And the Ferrari takes this round.
We see yellow flags again. That's Sid, I do believe,
Sid,
because he lost position. Dan Rubber, well, where he will drive out. Racer is trying to challenge Goran for P3. We see another yellow flags. That's Pipertech, I do believe, making a mistake. Or no, it was Mons, not Pipertech. Racer is really close to Sergio. He will be challenging that McLaren driver for taking a position on the track. I do believe we were both racing against Lewis, and he is not counting for time penalties. He just wants to get things done on the track.
Dan's, interestingly, look, Dan's gone mediums and not the soft tyre, and he stayed out that long. I think that's a slight mistake.
I think that was the right choice. Like if he would.
But everybody, all I'd say is everybody.
more,
Everybody
but
came in a lot earlier, and they're miles ahead of him.
and Yitmex with the oh,
Oh!
limits and done,
Oh!
and
Yo yo yo!
what's that Alpine was
I
thinking
think
about?
there was a game of chicken there. I think possibly for the DRS, as Dan was trying to get past. I think there was a little bit. Nasula, by the way, up to 11th, all over the back of the gaggle of cars in front, and he was at the back, don't forget, a while ago. You can see 3 or 4 cars ahead of him.
Yeah,
Watch out for this man.
And Racer is overtaking Sergio Sid with another time penalty, this time 5-second penalty for spinning in pit lane, and he is retiring.
Retired.
And free
Trying to go around the outside.
That was not Russ, Griffin and Nisula. Tyckler is overtaking Lankiwan for P6. Natras is still trying to pull a pressure on Caxel, but he is making a mistake and losing position to Griffin. Nisula was close to make a move there as well. Pipertech is overtaking Gitmex for P14.
This is really going to test to see when Nasula is. He's had it all his own way, being out the front and leading a race. Can he pick through the gap? No, he can't. 3 seconds for a little bit of a clumsy exit there through Cops.
Yeah, and Lucky One and Tekla really close to each other for another time. And Ferrari will be challenging that Williams for position. Obviously, he have bigger problem because of the time penalty. Lucky One is going really wide, but it looks like he is in front. Nisola is overtaking, not Ras.
Oh, there's
and
contact.
It's
no Sula, not Ras. Oh, it's all gone horribly wrong.
Nisola and not Ras. They're lucky for them, they are not dropping that far. Griffin, Caxel and Tykel are free wide through turn 1 and 2, and it looks like Griffin is overtaking Caxel and Tykel. Are still really close between Griffin and Caxel. I'm pretty sure there was a minor contact between them.
Oh, here he comes.
And Caxel is taking that position from Alpine driver, but he's going really wide, and Alpine got a chance to strike back.
I'll tell you what, Griffin's held it round the outside again. We've seen him do that once or twice already tonight. Yellow flag into turn 1.
And
that is Nasula. I don't know what happened. He was near a car. I shall leave it at that. By the way, somebody put in the fastest lap time. He's now only 3 seconds behind everybody else that's fighting. I shall leave it at that, otherwise I will curse him. Gap to lead is what we're looking at. Theoretically, it's 2.9 seconds at the moment, 3 seconds, because Lewis has not got a penalty, and Nico has.
Griffin is overtaking Lanky One for P6. Griffin is struggling with battery a bit, but he got the pace. He finds some extra pace on this hard compound on his second stint, and he's doing really great right now.
Yeah, who's going to
Goran is challenging Celcio for P3. Will he be able to make a move here between turns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and...
Oh, he's being pushed by the AlphaTauri behind. Amlek was right up the gearbox of Goran there.
And Goran is too far to make a move on Celcio. They are fighting, they are helping Lois a lot to run, and I do believe Almanac for another time make a contact with Goran. He's trying to park on his gearbox or something.
Oh, not Ras and Yeetmik. Oh, not Ras. Got a bit of oversteer in that corner, a bit of snap, and has gone into the side of Yeetmix. Who I don't know if he's got damage or not, because now he's being pressured by Mons. He's going to go around the outside of Yeetmix at Cops.
Meanwhile, Goran is trying to make a move on Stelzio. Goran going to the inside, and it looks like a job is done, and Mercedes is in front. We see another yellow flag. That's Yeetmix.
It's Yeetmix.
On Beckett's, I do believe.
Yeah.
Oh, and Goran made a mistake. Was there a
Yes.
contact between
Oh,
him and
yeah.
Sergio? Not sure, because of really
Oh, and he's gonna come
crappy
out in a
camera
he's
angle.
gonna come out in a really challenging spot because he's just unghosted in front of in front of Caxel as well. I was about to
Just
say
behind
some.
the lucky one, and they are in fight on P5. Caxel is overtaking. Goran is throwing back, and Yitmax is retiring from the session, but that's in the pit lane. Robster with 5-second penalty. Oh, and he contact
Oh, God,
Caxel, not sure was it counter steer by Caxel or just sliding,
I
or he
have
just turned, but
no eyes.
I clearly seen that Caxel's car just turned onto that Mercedes and caused him span around. Meanwhile, Sergio nearly 4 seconds
Oh,
behind.
that brings
Gora.
out a safety car. I'm gonna.
It looks like no safety car. Caxel with
No.
3-second time penalty. Racer is
Guess
dropping the pace to Nico,
Gaston's about to
but
have kittens.
yeah, but look for the gap over Stelzio and Almanac. It's over 4 seconds right now. Meanwhile, speaking about them, Almanac was trying to go to the inside, but he was just a bit too far to make a move over there. But it looks like that's going to be tense battle. Pipetek is losing position to Robstar, so both
No,
Williams
he's not.
in top 10.
Pipetek's having other ideas about this.
Yeah, he's
Just
trying,
about.
he's trying. It looks like he's stepping back. What a shit camera angles game is showing for me.
Oh, I think Almanac just hit the back of Stelcho as they go through the loop.
I mean, not sure what is happening with Almanac, because last couple of laps he was just gently snapping the back of other cars. Pipetek meanwhile regaining position from Robstar. So I'm just wondering, does Almanac is holding really bad with pressure and cannot help it? But
Who is currently
that fight works perfectly for Lewis. Lewis gained another 1.5 seconds over them. And Pipetek and Robs are still really close to each other. Griffin and Almanac. Almanac is trying.
He's going to have to try and defend it, but also attack at the same time.
Going to inside, and it looks like Griffin is in front, but Almanac is.
Danke's arriving on the scene, and he's bringing Dan with him.
Yeah, I do believe Griffin went just a bit too wide. He snapped a bit with Overseer and lost the position because of that. Meanwhile, Almanac is putting a pressure on Stelcho for another time.
Stelcho's got a bigger problem. He's currently underfueled, and the only car at the moment that seems to do so, as I've just seen, not Ras spin.
Yellow flags, Ras. Oh, and he is retiring from the session.
They hate people.
No safety car. Lucky, boys. Have you read the rules? If you and Almanac is overtaking Stelcio. Good run from the loop on the inside, and it looks like he's safe in front of the McLaren, and Griffin is really close. Oh, they're nearly side by side, almost touching the. Oh, Griffin is overtaking Stelcio.
This is going to go horribly wrong, I think, very quickly.
And it looks like they made it clean. Dan Robbo, meanwhile, a huge shootout for your brother. He is currently on P6, and he is challenging Stelcio. Griffin is overtaking Almanac for podium spot. Dan Robbo is overtaking Stelcio. Stelcio is fighting back.
Oh, bit of contact, and we're going to have a Ferrari possibly. That's going to go around the outside.
Dan braking a bit later, and
he's on the best tyres. He's on the best tyres out there on those lot younger mediums. He stayed out a lot longer than everybody else. I think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see a fight for the lead here. Nico's got Lewis at arm's length at the moment. We don't know who's going to finish third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth, or even ninth, because everybody's got penalties as well. So
Yeah, indeed.
2 laps to go.
Meanwhile, Nico and Racer on no man's land.
Oh
Unlucky
no,
one,
Lanky. No, not now.
excluding himself from that fight. Stelzio is struggling with pace
Yeah.
to Dan Robo.
Oh,
I do expect he's trying to lift off to be able to finish this race. And he's out of DRS on Dan Robo on P5. Dan Robo is really close to Almanac. That's about less than 2 tenths than now is quarter of the second, but he had way better exit and on the hunger straight with DRS advantage. Will he be able to attack Alpha Tauri driver? Yes, he is going to the inside, but he was way in front of
he
Alpha
needs
Tauri
to try and.
on the braking zone. And
He knows
Almanac
he's
was
got to try and
struggling
build a gap.
with battery. Robster
Oh,
while
Lanky!
overtaking Piper
Still
Tech.
show.
Oh,
Lanky!
close. I seen that from the
Caxel's gonna
Caxel.
try and get him into turn 1.
Oh, that is close. That is close. Lanky is holding the line, but Caxel find a way to overtake, and Caxel is overtaking Stelzio.
Oh, that's
And contact between Lanky and Stelzio.
No. Come on, you guys, you've done so well to bring it all the way to the last lap.
Contact between those two. Limits is making another mistake now. Lanky to the inside, and he's in front. Oh, and the contact. Stelzio
he's gonna go down the inside.
Stelzio was braking way later than Lanky one, and he just snapped his rear diffuser. Meanwhile, Nico is exiting hunger straight and going to cross the line to take. And Stelzio with another
Stelzio,
time
no,
penalty.
no. This brings
Meanwhile,
time.
Nico with
Wait a minute.
last turn to go, and here we are. Red Bull driver is taking the checkered flag as a winner of this Grand Prix. Racer.
Oh, Stelzio's run out of fuel. No, he's run out with a couple of corners to go. This is devastating.
Griffin will hold that P3. Great drive by Dan Robo, who's finishing on P4 but dropping back to P5 because of time penalty. Almanac on P4, Tykler on P6, Caxel on P7, Pipertech P8, Lanky 1 P9, Robstar P10, Stelzio P11, and I do believe that will be safe for him because Mons is crossing the line as on P12. Nisula is overtaking Mons because of time penalties. Andre is crossing the line as driver number 14, and we are waiting for Limits. Who is pretty far behind everyone. Limits is finishing as 5th. So, you were correct about the pole time, because it was more or less time you said. You missed by one amount of drivers who finished the race because you were expecting 14, and you were horribly wrong about the safety cars. We didn't have any of safety cars.
No, I reckon that could be a Goldie's problem. But, hey, it wasn't bad. It got a bit aggressive, but I don't think we stopped talking for over 40 odd minutes of racing.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm happy that I had the time to join Dan Robo with additional point for fastest lap of the race. And Nico is winning the race. Racer on P2, Griffin on P3. Those are podium spots. So Racer is extending his gap over Almanac and over Dan Robo. Nico actually is trying to close up to is closing to Stelzio, Goran, Caxel, and Nisula. Nisula actually out of points. Stelzio out of points. So that works really good for Nico. So let's invite Griffin, Racer, and Nico Mm, wait, forget to make a screenshots. Okay, I think I did it.
He's not done it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't here by about a month. Nico Griffin, it was, yeah, and Racer. Uh, Griffin, Racer, Nico. Invitations were, uh,
Let's have a look, shall we?
and not
Hmm.
sure why Discord
And then
refusing
no,
to cooperate with me and didn't invite Nico. But okay, I fixed that. Racer is with us already. Let's wait a moment for two other podium sitters. Let's give
I mean, very,
them like,
I'm very tempted to start off with Lewis because I will be here all night otherwise.
yeah, actually, okay. While we're waiting, not sure. Oh, there is Nico and there is Griffin. So, uh, change plan. First of all, boys, good evening and congratulations on your podium positions. So let's start with P3 Griffin. Good evening, Griffin. Congratulations for podium spot.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yep.
can.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
Pretty tense race at the end for you. What's
Griffin. Sorry, go on.
what can
I was about to
you
say, I was
tell
about to say, not
about your
bad for a quali
perspective?
ban.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're telling me. I think I should do it more often, mate. Because I think when I start in the middle, there's always something at the start that usually messes my race up. Um, but yeah, it's a bit annoying. I think in the leaderboard bit, I think I'm like ninth, which is a bit annoying because I feel like I'm up top with the guys. But yeah, I think I need to get quali ban more often.
You seem to just stay out the way when I think what we've realised because everything's so close together, you either if you're if you know you're quick enough to be in the front couple of rows, then you qualify, and if you don't, you kind of want to just hang back so you're out the way. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah, as,
to be fair, I took it easy because like when you were saying about you wasn't sure if there was a safety part going to be active or whatever, I was like, I'm not going to bank on that then. So I'm just going to play my time and work through. But to be fair, them guys in fourth, fifth, and sixth, they were like battling hard. So I was thinking, I was like, I need to get past them because something's going to happen.
yeah, they were, and then unfortunately ran each other a little bit off the road at the end. Good pace overall by the looks of things. That's probably one of your stronger, I would say, race evenings where you've put everything together
Yeah,
effectively.
yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, no, it was good. It was a good race. Good race. Enjoyed it. But I don't really want to start from the back again. To be fair, it's stressful.
Yeah,
It's a
but
good omen.
Griffin, I have to say that it was your second podium spot this season.
Yeah,
You had one win, now you have one P3. Sadly, your closest opponent, Nico, won the race, so he will run out a bit for you. But
yeah.
Stelcio and Nisula run out of top 10, so you closed to them a bit. Once again, congratulations for your podium spot, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And now let's move on to second podium spot, sitter uh, Racer 001, or as you prefer, Luis. Good evening, Luis.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Unfortunately.
Nah, it's not that bad. You're extending the lead over Almanac and Dan, what is good for you. Nisula
Yeah.
had a bad race tonight as well, so your lead will be somewhere around 60 points right now. So
Yeah.
I do believe you feel pretty comfortable, and slowly we can start to sending congratulations letters. Last season you won EU4, now you are probably going to win EU3. So what is your next goal? EU2 next season?
Well, we didn't say that just yet. That's
Join
disrespectful.
us.
Yeah, it's disrespectful to the rest of the guys, and it's also there's still races to go, and things can very quickly go the other way. It was again, and I don't make things easy for myself. Qualifying is super close, and the last run, there were 2 tenths there that were missing, and that would have been enough for me to be in the front row. But as it turned out, it probably wasn't a bad thing where I started because there was chaos at the first corner. I think it's really stressful this race because everyone was being super aggressive early on, and I knew there was lots of guys on the medium tire, and I was on the hard, so it was it's just losing time around guys that were just using all their ERS on the first lap. At the same time, you don't want to end up falling too far behind because you know there could be a DRS train. Fortunately, I was able to keep myself ahead of the medium runners, and I knew that that would help me come the second half of the race. And but yeah, it was just a whole train, and I came out and it was in a train and behind Almanic, and I gave it a couple of laps, and I was able to then just take my opportunities of passing certain people. I had to make a few dive bombs, well, not dive bombs, but moves, break late down into Abbey, um, to get the DRS at the same time as well. And after that, the last third of the race was once I got past those guys and I was on the faster tyre, it was a lot easier then. And I was actually watching the scoreboard, just seeing, right, okay, Almanic's P3, and then I saw Griffin coming in. I was like, okay, yeah, another
Okay, so
place into third. That's an extra few points. So for me, again, Nico was just in another a league today, and I was never going to be near him. So it was just maximising
yeah, but
the positions.
you said something that really triggered me because well, as you most of you noticed, I'm kind of busy man last week's and cannot be that active in the league. So you said it's 2 races to go.
No, no. There's still a few more races to go. Sorry, that's because we've got Mexico. We still got like 4 races, I think. If I'm unless
So
I'm
if you be lucky, one more race and you will be a confirmed EU3 champion.
um yeah, let's have a look on the schedule. So we've got Mexico, Shanghai, Qatar, and Interlagos. So there's still 4 races to go. Yeah, for me, I'm not. Although I'm focusing on the championship, I'm not putting like okay, the championship could get wrapped up this weekend. For me, it was all about as long as I can beat my closest rivals, which is Almanic and Dan. They're the ones who are really close enough. Nisela was someone I was had my eye on. So when I saw that he had the incident in the first corner, and I was like, all right, this is crucial here. So I've really got to make the most of getting good points because I had one eye on Nisela because he has the pace to potentially win all the races this season. So the remaining races this season. So the fact he didn't score points today was a real crucial thing for me, buffer wise. It still would have been tough for him because he is that far behind, but you know it's so tight in this series that if I finish fifth, sixth, and he wins, he can really eat into that lead. So yeah, it was a good day today in the points, and we look forward to next week.
Okay, Mati, do you have something more to Luis?
No, he's spoken enough.
I mean, I just wanted to say it was good to hear once again after we were commentating races together last season.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
let's head on to the race winner, Nico, in the Red Bull. Good evening, Nico, and congratulations for your stunning performance. You had to be pretty lonely during the whole race distance.
Yeah, then it was kinda boring to be honest. I was expecting somebody to attack on lap 3 with a DRS, but it didn't happen. And after that, I don't know what happened to everyone. Everyone started having a gap to me. I don't know what happened.
They were fighting a bit
Uh,
too hard between each other and were focusing on fighting each other instead of cooperating to catch up to you. And you just started to driving away.
yeah, it felt like a walk on Silverstone, to be honest.
I mean, Silverstone is quite a bit challenging track.
Yeah, I had some incidents, to be honest. I got the penalty as well because I was trying to do the fastest lap. I got the penalty.
Yeah, but when you get the penalty, you were far enough to don't care about this anyway. I do
Yeah,
believe.
that's true.
So really, really stunning performance. Like you had over 3 tenths of advantage in quali, and it looks like you confirmed that in your race pace. So really, really impressive job for you. But I will shut up now, and Matti, he's all yours.
No, I was just going to say, I think he did a bit like what Nasuda did last week. Managed to break the DRS, which he did, and then maintained that gap so that when you came back out, it was a little bit easier for you to then pick through any of the remaining guys that hadn't stopped. So it was a very, I would say, a very thorough and well thought out performance. To be honest with you, so it's a congratulations from me. That was very impressive.
Thank you very much.
I think that's about it. I think we're all good.
Yeah, so it looks like we are done. Once again, boys, congratulations for your podium positions. I think it was a really, really good race by three of you. Sadly, we couldn't invite one more who deserved to shoot out, but it is what it is. Mati, it was a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you.
Uh,
Pleasure. Good to have you back. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I mean, don't get used to that. To be
I
honest,
know, but
I promise that I might jump in occasionally. So I jumped in. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for showing us pretty entertaining race. Uh, we hadn't a moment to drink anything with Mati during the whole race, so it was pretty good.
yeah,
And
we'll see you in Mexico next week for
yeah, I mean,
EU3.
with you, not necessarily with me. But thank you all for joining us on chat as well, and have a great, great night. Ciao.